Want to see how I make vegan etouffee on a budget for Mardi Gras? Stay tuned. Hello everyone, my name is Nicole from thelady-prefers-to-save.com, and today I am sharing with you one of my favorite pressure cooker recipes, and that is for vegan etouffee. It's one of my absolute favorites. I love it all the time, but especially this time of year for Mardi Gras, which is of course today. And so I'm sharing with you how simple this is to throw together in your pressure cooker or Instapot. And so with that said, let's get started. To get started making this etouffee, you need 1 cup minced onion, 2 cups minced bell pepper, 2 teaspoons fresh minced garlic, 1 cup water, 1 cup dried kidney beans soaked overnight for 8 to 12 hours and drained, 3 bay leaves, 1.5 teaspoon dried thyme, 2 tablespoons smoked paprika, 2 teaspoon dried marjoram, 1 teaspoon ground cayenne pepper, 1 14.5-ounce canned crushed organic tomatoes, 1 teaspoon dried oregano, 1 teaspoon liquid smoke, salt and pepper to taste, cooked rice of choice, and of course, what would any etouffee recipe be without hot sauce? I like to take all of my spices and start with to make a mix out of them. I find that it adds just a little extra taste, and so that is the next step after I gather all of my ingredients together. I also like to use pink Himalayan salt in this recipe, which you will have seen. Then I like to take the peppers, onions, garlic, and all of the ingredients, add them to my food processor just to kind of chop it and get things going. I find that it releases a lot of the oils, and at this point I will put it into my pressure cooker and go ahead and saute the mixture together. I like to use just the dry fry method, but you of course could put in olive oil or vegetable stock to get the same result. Once that has sauteed for 45 minutes, I will then add my tomato products as well as the rest of my ingredients right into the pressure cooker so that it can start melding together. And as you can see, just making sure to get all the tomato products out, including the tomato paste. As you can see, sometimes it's a little bit difficult with those tiny little lids to get them open. And something else I've noted about organic tomato paste, I don't know, it just seems a little bit stickier. I don't know that it is or if that happens to anybody else, but for me that tends to generally be the case. But again, just taking out all the tomato paste, making sure to clean the can very well, since this is the base for your etouffee. And then at this point we will add in the beans and water and seasoning, and making sure to again stir everything up completely, especially your bay leaves, just so that you can make sure to get that little extra flavor all the way through your mix. And of course, I like to take my spoon and just kind of get the last little bit of tomato paste off in the water. That's just one of my little cooking tricks. Something a little more zero waste, just to kind of get the last bit of flavor in. Throw the water on top, and of course stir your blend together to make sure everything is well incorporated. This recipe is pretty easy and it comes together really quickly, because as you can see, it's literally just dumping everything in, salt and pepper to taste, and of course letting your pressure cooker do the work for you. Normally I would make this in an Instapot, but my other device was being used that day for another YouTube recipe that is coming out, and so I wanted to make sure that I was getting this taken care of. And as you can see, everything together, melded, put on a 30-minute cycle. Now if this was the Instapot, it would be a manual set to 20 minutes. And so after the end of your cycle, let it come off naturally and depressurize, and then as you can see, everything is good to go. Now you could eat it like this. I like mine a little bit thicker, so something I like to do is take out about 2 cups of the mixture, put it back into the food processor to thicken, and then once it is like a consistency of, say, a little bit of a liquidy hummus, I'll go ahead and take it out, add it back to the pressure cooker just to thicken everything up, and so that it is a little bit more on the stew side as compared to, say, a chili or a soup. You of course could omit this step, but it's something that I find adds just a little bit extra texture to the soup, and it's just the way that I've always enjoyed Etouffee, and as you can see, then taking the mixture and adding it right back into your pressure cooker and then blending everything up really well so that you are having some of the best Etouffee that you have ever had. Something else I'd like to add to this, a lot of recipes will say that you don't really need the marjoram. I find that you do need it. I find that you can do away with a lot of ingredients, but that's generally one that I would not say that you should do without. It really just adds a lot of diversity to this blend, and it's not something that I would generally skip on. Keeping consideration, I found it on Amazon pretty inexpensively, so that might be a place that you'd want to check. Also, rawspicebar.com tends to have it on sale pretty regularly as well, so that might be another place to find it if you're doing a lot of Cajun or Creole cooking. Now, once I've incorporated everything back into the pressure cooker, I'll go ahead and re-season and taste and add a little bit of hot sauce to the blend. I like my Etouffee a little bit spicy, but definitely you could add, or not add, as it were, to whatever you would prefer to have. And then give it a stir for a minute or two, and just until everything is well incorporated into your Etouffee. And then, as you can see, everything is hot and delicious and a rich, rich brown sauce. At this point, I'll go ahead and make my rice, and of course, you would need twice the amount of water to whatever quantity of rice that you make. And then to finish things up, I like to place the rice in a small glass mise en place container, which would be placed in the center of the bowl, and then take the Etouffee kind of moat style around the dish, and that is generally how I like to serve it. Kind of reminds me of some of our favorite family restaurants in New Orleans, and so that's how we like to plate up. It could be a little bit neater, but since I don't think you guys will quite mind, that's just kind of how we serve it at home, and that's how we are sharing it with you in this video. Also, something, you could definitely make this on stovetop or induction in a Dutch oven. Again, this is just easier for me to do it in the pressure cooker, but by all means, do whatever is easiest for you. And as you can see, just go ahead and plate and serve. I like to serve it hot. You could, of course, reheat it the next day. It would be equally yummy. And that is how I like to serve my pressure cooker vegan Etouffee. As you can see, it is uber yummy and delicious. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed the recipe. I will link my blog post below that you can check out as well. And as always, please be kind to yourself, to others. Have a wonderful day.